Okay, so now we're gonna just get into a little individual-based questioning. So Brandy is actually the mother of two beautiful girls that are my nieces. They're the best. So Brandy, if you could just touch on what it's like dating and having children, what does that look like for you?
I would have to say the key thing is flexibility. Just kind of thinking about my experiences. Because I have my children, you know, it's kind of a 50-50 type of situation. I have to plan ahead. And I have to figure out when I can actually spend time with that person. And then considering their schedule, if it's a situation where they can only get together when I have my babies, then I have to reach out to my village and see if they would be able to care for my babies while I go and spend time with this person. So to have that support is helpful. And then also just to kind of, first of all, be organized and then be flexible. Because I can't just go on a whim. Someone can't just say, hey, let's go to the movies tonight. Well, first of all, what day of the week is it? Because I might have my girls and I don't practice, kind of spending time with others when I have them, because that's my time with them, and they shouldn't have to be without, because I'm trying to, have a little love life.
How dare you have a personal life?
And I mean, it's just a balance. I think it's also, I saw it was really important. I can't remember who it was I heard it from, which is unfortunate, but for them to see me go on dates. I do remember it was Sarah Jakes Roberts.
Yep.
To see them, have them see me go on dates. So it was one instance where this fella, he asked me to go on a date, and it was on a weekend night where I had my girls, who my best friend allowed them to come over here.
Slumber party.
But they saw me leave with him. They were familiar with him. And they saw me leave with him, and they saw me return back, and they saw him bring me back. And so I think that is really important, because it allows for them to see, oh, we don't always have mommy to ourselves. And then also it's like, mommy's seeing somebody and he makes her, from what they can see,
smile,
happy, and she's doing things, she's going places with this person, but then not to allow them to feel neglected at the same time.
So just to follow up, when did you feel comfortable with introducing them or letting them see him?
It was a gradual process. I've known him like over a year, almost a year and a half. And so they would hear me talk to him or have conversations with him on the phone, like through my car during our commute. And so he would speak to them, and so they were familiar with his voice. They just didn't have a, face to the name. But it was not anything abrupt, I would say. And I think it's also something that you can't follow someone else's experience. You have to have that level of comfort. It hasn't, each of their, interactions or where they've seen each other, it's been very brief. It's very somewhat impersonal. I mean, he speaks to them and they speak back. He has little nicknames for them, and so they have a connection there, but it's not where we're all just sitting around and having a movie night. Like, it's kind of in passing. But I would say it was about 8 months, 9 months before they actually saw him in person for any period of time.
Good stuff.
Yes. I know, because that is valuable. You know what I mean? Because I have friends, like Brandy is a friend that obviously have children. I have other friends who have children, and they'll ask me, I'm like, I don't know. Like, and everyone's story is different. Some say, I'm not waiting until my child hits double digits. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's a long time.
And that was my perspective, just because of my level of trust of people and you know, I had 2 girls, and I don't want their innocence to be stolen or interrupted because of my bad judgment or awareness. And so just in meeting this person though, but still again, they have not had any like real close,
like intimate,
right? No, but they both know of each other.
Yeah.
And that was important to me, because if they hear me talking to him on the phone, they are very inquisitive children, and so they ask. And so I want to be honest with them.
They say, is that India? No.
Right.
It's me. They'll get it. They'll go down the list.
Oh,
That's true.
Thank you for sharing. So India, you can just tell us, what is it like on the dating scene for you?
What, single, no children? No.
Me too.
You know, it's interesting because now I've noticed most guys have children that I ran into. So I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those where I'm single, no children. He also needs to be single, no children.
I'm still one of those.
Yeah, and I had to.
I mean, it's slim pickings as we get older.
Yeah. So then I said, okay, 1 kid and the child has to be older than 7 years of age. You know, I gotta make sure they can walk and talk. You know,
and you can be sure too that the relationship hopefully is not.
That's
fresh.
true. Oh, and that's so true, because I had other friends who were in that situation. They say, India, no, they're probably still, you know, not even beefing, but
just a connection.
Tension. Still a connection, could even be an intimate connection with that ex, right? So it's just all these rules, but I am glad that I am more open-minded about that. But I do try to, you know, find the guys without children.
I'm still
a lot of responsibility. I barely feed myself.
Hoping for that for myself.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of becoming an instant mom gives me anxiety.
Yeah. And kind of goes back to that the freedom that we mentioned earlier. You know, because. I'm like, okay, what are you doing now? Oh, I'm not doing anything. Let's go catch a movie. Oh, I gotta make sure, let me get a sitter, or let me ask the mom, or oh, I have my girls or my boys or whatever this weekend, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then, you know, you have to be flexible. She mentioned being flexible. So I am respectful of that, because again, my friends have children, so I understand that. But again, it's like, do I have to compromise? So now I'm like, okay, no, I got to be intentional about finding these single dudes with, you know, no children, because I am random. I'm free right now. Let's go on a hike. Let's go work out. I am like that. So yeah. So I mean, I would like to think it's fun. I have more options, but that's not the case though too, because a lot of people just assume you single, no children, you have all the time in the world, you can do all this, and I'm like, no, or all the money in the world. Oh Lord.
No.
Why do they think single people without children are
like
rich?
You don't have responsibilities as well.
I have bills just like you. So yeah.
A lot of.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's still fun. It's still fun, but it's definitely more open.
Yeah.
Like I do what I want when I want.
Okay, so we've actually reached our last question. And it's something that they both have in common. They both have previously been engaged. And so I just want you guys to kind of touch on what it was like with those relationships ending and how you recovered. Because to me, even though I've never been in that position, it can be difficult to even want to get back out there again. Because you are about to make such a serious commitment with somebody and you got to a place where you did. So whoever wants to go first can go ahead and.
Whose was first though? Who was first?
The dissolution?
Yeah.
Or me?
Oh, okay.
No,
Ladies first.
Well, I was in my relationship for 6 years, and we were engaged towards the end of the relationship. But I mean, it's been a struggle. It was, I would say, the first year. But you know what? That whole old adage to where however long you were with that person, it takes half of the time. I really think that rings true. It has rung true for myself. Because at the 3-year point, I was just like, I'm good. I mean, I'm talking mentally and emotionally, I'm good. I know that I said that I met the individual, you know, that I've dated. I don't remember which.
Share.
And that was prior to my 3-year mark, but it's been interesting. But it's been a lot of growth Because it was really hard. I can't minimize it. I can't say, oh, he was no good, so I'm good.
Yeah.
That's not my perspective at all. Like, it's just like, no, it was hard. Like, straight up. Because we were going to share a life together, and then we didn't. So it was definitely, you know, the period of mourning and moving past it. It's like a death.
Yes.
Even though we weren't married,
you do grieve.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, and I feel like it's not like, you know, you grieve for, you know, a few days and then you just brush it off. It's not like that. So I definitely had to be patient with myself, and I definitely had to have compassion for myself and just allow myself to kind of just work through, do the work, and work
embrace
through
it.
Went to see a therapist.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to Taraji P. Henson.
On the couch.
Yes.
Mental health is
your
real.
mental health. Absolutely.
It's crucial.
Nothing wrong
especially
with
with having kids too.
Oh yes, I had, and that was really my main goal. It's just like, let me make myself better for them.
Yep.
For me too. I mean, I'm important, but for them, because I have to raise them, and they're looking at me, but they really do be looking at me, and I'm just like, she's looking at me.
They do. They watch everything.
What do you want from me? But I gave you life. But
now go live yours.
Yeah, it's right. It's definitely it was a struggle, but you come through it.
Yes.
You come through on the other side, and I definitely can say that although I had those ties to that man, I was able to break them. And it was definitely, and I won't just say it's a tie, it was definitely a soul tie.
Yeah, those are real.
And then, you know, when you see someone like almost every day, and it's like, you know how you go through a regular breakup and it's just like, you know, well, let me just get rid of all the pictures, and, you know, I don't have to see him ever again in life. But no, I had to see him like every day because we have children. And so
that is different.
With that, it's just like, you know, you have a wound and you have your Band-Aid, and I just kept ripping the Band-Aid off. And then it got to a point where I'm just like, I'm running out of Band-Aids, so let me just wrap some gauze around this and keep it moving.
Let's go.
So
yeah. Oh,
it takes some strength.
That is. That is.
But it is like acknowledging the way that you feel. It's important.
Yes.
So you can't just act like it didn't happen. Every emotion that you feel while going through that process is important to acknowledge. And seeing a therapist is super important. You gotta have somebody to unload this stuff on.
Oh yeah.
And somebody who's unbiased and can really just listen.
Yeah.
The truth of therapy is that they're just making you talk. They're making you get all this stuff out. They're not fixing you. They're somebody there who you can talk to and unload everything, and they know those prompting questions to help you get to the bottom of what's wrong.
Absolutely. And like, I know you may feel like you have your best friend, or you have your sisters, or you have your mom, and it's just like at a certain point, and they never like conveyed it to me, but at a certain point they get tired of hearing it. So you that's when you go to that therapist.
You feel like that,
Go to people that get paid to listen.
I know. Somebody was like your paid best friend. Wasn't that Insecure, or was that She's All That? One of those shows.
One of those.
Or She Hasn't Had It. But whatever. She was like, I want to have to pay for my friend. I'm like, yes, every other week. Yes, here you go. That's why I have health care. But I mean, and I had her go first because, you know, it was right. Initially, her engagement was called off, and I was just like, okay, I remember going home and like looking at my eggs. I was just like, I felt it. The Holy Spirit was like, yeah, you're next. I felt it. And the reality of it was a tricky situation for me because we were engaged, and it was called off for 3 months, about 3 months before we were actually supposed to get married, and 3 months before the 7th year anniversary. And then we hooked back up. Let's just keep it real. Then we hooked back up after like a month. But I didn't wear my ring after that. And so then I think we were engaged for like 8 months maybe. And then because she was my planner, best friend planners. But I said, okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna go to therapy. We're gonna figure this out. So we were together 2 more years. So then we broke up like 2 months before our 9th year anniversary. And so yeah, girl, boy, whoever's listening, okay. When the Lord shuts the door, shut the door, lock it, put the bolt, stick in the whatever.
Put something
put something against
The
it.
chain lock.
But you know, I learned a lot. It was tough, and one of the things that I was one of those in the very beginning, like, oh, I got this. I'm still gonna do me. I'm still gonna go everywhere and be seen and just show that I'm doing all right. But you have to make sure you're in a mental, like you're healthy. You're mental straight. You're in a healthy place because people are going to constantly ask you. There are going to be something that Brande didn't mention that I know that was real for both of us, triggers. There were triggers. And I was like, oh, that used to be our song. Oh, that used to be this.
Yeah.
Oh, that used to be. And I was like, oh, girl, you're not right. You need to go home. You need to get some healing. So that's when I did go ahead and embrace and said, I need to go ahead and talk to somebody after like a few months after the breakup, because honestly I was in denial, because we always break up, it's 9 years, whatever, we're gonna get back together. So it wasn't until like 6 months after I'm like, oh no, this is real. I think this is really happening. So I need to accept it. And one thing too, I will also mention, because I know I keep saying, I'm just gonna put it all out there.
Go for it.
Don't try to be BFFs with the ex so quick.
No.
Especially maybe it was because of so many years of history. I was like, okay, I know this person, we can still be friends. No, we cannot be friends. So you just have to be so 100 with yourself. And I had to be in a dark place. Like, oh, I was on their couch. Like, I was like, girls, I need someone to be near me, not necessarily talk to me, but I just needed to be in a place of love. And had to process it all with the therapist, with myself, journal like crazy. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad weeks, and then one good day.
Yeah.
But celebrate those good days.
Yeah.
Acknowledge why it was a good day. Like,
Yeah.
process and journal it. Because honestly, I will tell Brande knows, Shannon knows. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get out of this. Like, I did not think, I was in such a
feels like
dark
that.
place. But now I'm like, okay, where we going? Another
Right.
trip? Like, let's do it. Embrace our essence. Like, we're traveling, we're doing it. But that's because I did just that. I have a friend who is still in that dark place because she's not accepting it. She's not embracing it. And it's not that I'm tired of talking about it, but it's just like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Like, when are you gonna move on? Jump in. Because I'm like, it's not that I'm not sensitive to it, because I know it, but like, you're in denial. You're still trying to be out there where he is, and you don't need that.
And it's not, when you're trying to work through it, you're not thinking about yourself.
Yep.
And thinking about your heart. You're
Yep.
thinking about how others are perceiving you.
Yes.
And
Ooh.
whether, like, India was very involved in the community, still is, but I mean, she was engulfed
Yeah.
in the community. But then you're also taking into consideration those that are close to you. How are they seeing me?
Yeah.
I don't want them to see me weak. No,
Yep.
I cried a lot,
Yeah.
and it's cathartic.
Yeah,
Cry.
it is.
Necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
the tears.
Yeah.
The Lord gave us tears for a
Yeah.
reason.
Sometimes I jokingly said it to Brande, I said, I don't think I've cried in a while. Let me go take a shower, do a little R&B album. Like, I was like, we go all the time. So, seriously,
Right.
but I embraced
Right.
it. I mean, it's tears of joy now, but I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
And there's no diss to him or anything like that. Like, we both had that. Sometimes we think like, oh, he's good, so I should be good. And one of the things that the therapist said too depends on who checked out.
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
in the relationship, because let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Someone checked out before
Yeah.
it was official.
And really,
Yes.
you
Ooh.
had that inkling, that discernment,
that
whatever
discernment.
you want to call it.
Oh.
You knew when it was over.
Oh.
I can honestly say
Girl.
I knew when I should have been done.
Oh, I knew
but I
when.
continued to.
Yeah.
I continued to proceed.
Yeah.
And I continued to give. And
Yeah, and that's why I think forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
For allowing
Yeah.
you yourself to like go through that. I mean,
Right.
again, love them, love the family, but I knew, they knew, he knew. We all knew it was not a healthy situation, but it was just like, I've already put in all this time. Let me just stick this out. Let me
Yeah.
stick it out. Let's just be honest. You always think that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I owe it to myself. I owe it to him. I owe it to everyone. This is not healthy. Hurt people hurt people. So you have to keep it so real with yourself. But I definitely think like have your support group. Let them know what's going on, because sometimes the young lady I was talking about before, she's like, never let you see you sweat. Girl, I just randomly send prayers. I randomly send songs and sermons or whatever, because I already know what stage she's at, right? You know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah.
stages to it.
It is.
You know, you have that partying, you have that woe is me, you have that crazy dating, you have that, oh, I don't want to leave the house out of these PJs and now you stink. Like, you
right.
You have
I
all
don't care
those
that I
stages.
stink.
Yeah, you have all those different stages, but just always have that go-to person on call too. Yeah. Oh, that was good. That's
Yeah.
That's so much growth. Like I seriously, y'all, like you're gonna get through this. Like, oh my gosh, you have no idea.
Right. If you're going through a breakup,
Yeah.
and you don't feel it or think it when you're in the middle of it.
It
like
feels
when
like it's never gonna end.
Oh.
Right. When you're in that valley.
Yeah.
But you'll come out of it. You do.
And I feel like we're valid. Like we're talking about 6 years, we're talking about 9 years, we're talking about engagement, we're talking about kids. Like it wasn't no boyfriend, do you like me checkbox. No, it was like we're on some forever stuff. Like we had leases, names, houses.
I was staying in that relationship after I had the discernment for it to dissolve because I had children.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about me. I was like, no, because I want to give them something different. But that's not right. That's not healthy. It's not healthy for me. Okay? And it's definitely not healthy for them. So, and it's not even to minimize. If you were in a relationship for a year, we don't know how much you love them.
Yeah, that's true too. So that's why I just wanted to, we're experts on this. And I appreciate you too, Shannon, just allowing us to share our truth because a lot of people don't. And I think, again, people see you shine and look good, feel good, do good. I'm doing me, but they have no idea what's going on in the heart. Yeah.
Because it makes me think about Kirk Franklin's interview. He was on The Breakfast Club. And, Charlamagne is always trying to help people too. And he really has you on his show to embarrass you and when it's all said and done. Like, if you don't have your stuff together, he will.
He comes in the challenge.
Yeah, he was trying to do it with Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin handled it so well. He actually was like pulling Charlamagne in. But Kirk Franklin's main thing was, I'm still struggling with stuff.
Yes,
he was talking about how his trauma of being adopted at such a young age, and his birth mother telling him, I wanted to abort you, but my mom wouldn't let me, and his father not really being receptive of him, and how really every time he puts an album out, he feels like it's not good enough. And it's like you think about that, it is. And you don't think like with Kirk Franklin that he would be that insecure and having identity issues. But it's like hearing him say that. Like it pulls Charlamagne in, it makes you more relatable because
that
people
vulnerability.
just forget that we are people. And that we experience hurt and there's no limit. Like Kirk Franklin saying this will probably be a lifetime challenge. And even every relationship that we happen to be in, it forms who you are. It actually helps like develop you into who you are. And then you have to be cautious when you enter new relationships. Because sometimes you get overprotective of yourself. And if this person like resembles something that person used to do or anything like that, you have to be conscious of that. You have to give them a chance.
Do we have time for that? We can talk about the list. And I stopped writing the list. I stopped going after that list because I noticed it was the opposite of everything he wasn't. But then that's not fair because there's lacking other things that maybe the ex did like. I mean,
because like what I've learned in relationships is that there's gonna be a challenge. There's gonna be like even maybe the same fight, regardless of who the person is. It's just at some point you get to the place where you know what, I'm willing to do this with this person. That's usually what it is.
Now you're also choice, girl.
But it really depending on the person. It's like, you know what? Yeah, he does this and this, but I'm okay with that. You know what? I can deal with that for the rest of my life. But he's crazy. I can't deal with that. But then there are people who are willing to deal with crazy. You have to know what you're willing to deal with. That's why really what other people think doesn't matter. What people think doesn't matter because it's not their relationship at the end of the day. You have to be willing to do what works for you and not them because at some point you're sacrificing what's important to you.
And I just want to make a point. Even though, went to the therapist and, I said I did the work and, worked through it, came out at the end of it. But really, the Lord carried me.
Well, I really wanted to bring that up. I mean, y'all know seriously.
It makes a difference because then you're not in it by yourself.
And then it's serious, and like throughout the process, even meeting new people, like he shut the doors. I'm like, did I just get ghost? No, that was discernment. That was the Holy Spirit.
That was no. You're welcome.
He said, you're welcome. Right, you need some help. You still need some help.
Seriously. And I even think back, even in the relationship, there was a point where I said, Lord, I need you. I don't have the courage. like, again, that vulnerability, you have to be honest. He already knows.
Right.
All your prayer and your conversations with the Lord is just activating what he already
wants
has
you to do.
his will.
Because he knows. It's already come before him. He already knows what's going to happen. He's like, oh, man, she's about to do this again.
She's about to do this again. I'd be like, Jesus, you know my heart, though. Yeah, so that's true. It was definitely him. That this, and you know, and I know they always say that, you know, that's also a stage, right, in the breakup where, you know, you love the Lord and you going to church and all that. No, like, this was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I remember even being at their house, and I didn't even know the process of being saved. And I have it in my phone now, and it's actually coming up. If it's not, I think it's tomorrow. But I was saved like 3 years ago, just in the comfort of their home. And it's, I don't want to cry, but like, seriously, it was the best experience. And I can't thank him enough for saving me in that dark place. Not necessarily just against him, but just my own self. I was destroying my own self, not being honest with my heart and my, just the temple, everything. I was just thinking about everybody else. And you have to, again, be selfish. You have to make sure you're right. You're mentally healthy.
So this was great.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Well, like, I really feel like you guys are gonna help a lot of people who can relate to being in the position that you guys are in, and that's why I wanted to have different people in different forms of signals, because it's more than just what I experience. It's a lot of different types. Yeah. So I want people to feel as if they can actually hear, like it's an echo, you know.
Right.
I want to be sure that you guys know where they are found on social media, so I will list those at the end of the video. And shout out to Brady, she actually made their shirts when they went to Essence Fest. So just
embrace your essence.
Yes. So that you can find her. That's Memories to Be, just to shout that out.
Oh yeah.
So like I always do, I'm gonna go ahead and close with a prayer. I'm so grateful again. Thank you guys.
Thank you for listening to her. True. Thank you, Shan, for having us. Because I was just telling Brittany, I was like, I don't know if I really shared aloud, like, you know,
not in a public forum.
You help so many people, so it's like, and that isolation is not healthy. And I realized too. Well, of course, the word says, you know, we overcome by the blood and the lemon, the word of our testimony, right? Yes. So if we can share with other people what we've experienced, it kind of highlights the Lord, because we have to say, hey, he's the reason why this happened for me. Oh, yeah. And the enemy gets kind of distracted, because like, whoa, you're not embarrassed, you're not scared to share. Oh, yeah. Like, I had that over you. So you have to be okay with just letting it out. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then we'll be done. Okay. So, Lord, I just come before you today, just thanking you for this opportunity. Lord, I thank you for this platform, and that you give us opportunity to help other women. Lord, I pray that any woman that watches this video, that you strengthen her, that you help her, and that she really hears the words that we had to say, that she will get through it. This isn't the end of it, and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. Lord, I also pray that you just help all three of us while we are in the season that we're in right now. Not only to just embrace it, but to be open to what it is that you have for us. Yes. Lord, I pray that we don't allow fear or previous relationships to stop us from really being open to what it is that you want us to have and to experience. Lord, I pray that you help us to just be the wonderful women that you help us to be, and that we continue to help each other. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, God.